Hi, everybody. I am really loud. Thank you so much for coming tonight. It is an honor to be sharing the stage. So, back when I was a kid, my mom, she sort of had a certain set of advice that she gave to me and my brother on a repetitive basis. Eat your vegetables, stand up straight, go to bed early, and turn out your light. I was a problem reader when I was a kid. She also told us to go outside and play. Well, it turns out that my mom might have been right about all of those things. Go figure. So I have a theory. My theory is that somewhere in middle school, we begin to disconnect from nature. I believe that as humans, we're designed to be connected with nature. It's intuitive for us. But somehow in middle school, it's maybe just not that cool to go outside to play. Actually, most of middle school isn't that cool. It's kind of what it's about. But also, I think that in middle school is when we begin to strive. As parents, we push our kids to do more, to be more, to try for more, to be better than we were, to be better than everyone else. We push ourselves to do that, to do that as well. It's the American dream, right? To make the best better. It's a great dream, but I believe that without balance, we can't succeed in reaching that dream. The balance that we need to have is a balance of self-care and striving for more. So it turns out my mom was right. Funny, research actually supports her. There's a growing body of research that tells us that connecting with nature actually helps us. So what do we need help with? Well, how many of you have some stress in your lives? Anybody? How many people got stressed out about coming here? You got like 28 other things that you're supposed to be doing, right? Or places to be. A little bit of stress is great. It helps us in our striving. It helps us to reach for our dreams. But too much stress is not good for us. Our bodies are designed for stress to happen fast. A release of cortisol, a release of adrenaline, that helps us run away from the bear. That helps us when we're in danger. But most of us don't have that type of stress on a regular basis anymore, right? Instead, what Americans have is a 60-year trend of increasing stress. Stress from 1950 to 1980 went from what was a clinical stress in the 50s, by the 80s became the norm. And guess what? 30 years later, we still haven't learned anything or changed anything. Now, 60 years later, what was clinical in the 80s is now the norm. And I'm not just talking about adults. Teenagers, children, and adults all suffer from stress. Not a little bit of stress, not the good kind of stress. What else? You may have recently seen the news or heard in the news information about obesity. We all know that's no good, right? Yet 36% of Americans struggle with obesity. Folks, what's that about? We know what we should be doing. We should be doing what my mom said. And I'm pretty sure that your mom might have told you something similar, right? We kind of know what we're supposed to be doing, but we aren't doing it. That obesity issue isn't just adults. Did you know that childhood obesity has doubled in the last 20 years? And appallingly, adolescent obesity has quadrupled. We are not moving our bodies. We're not eating our vegetables, right? And what are the problems with both stress and obesity? They both connect to and lead to chronic and persistent illness. It damages our core self-concept. We don't feel good about ourselves. We feel like we're not good enough. We feel like we should be more. We should do more. We should reach for more. But we can't, because stress leads to anxiety and depression. Obesity, ditto, right? Your body hurts, your brain hurts. We're not where we need to be. We aren't doing what we know we should do. So, I feel so strongly about this research, and it turns out to be what my mom said. I'm a little pained, but I do have to say, right here on stage in front of my mom, you were right. Thanks for telling me. So, years later, here I am to say, we need to go outside. There's a growing body of research that supports this. Research says that by going outside, we can address stress, anxiety, and depression. Not just a little bit, but it makes a significant difference. It will change how we feel. It will bring balance to our striving. I feel so strongly about that 3 years ago I started a business called Dirty Girl Adventures. It's changed my life. The connections that I have made over the last 3 years have enriched my life beyond measure. I'm a school social worker now. I've been a social worker for a long time. My business partner, a woman, Sean was right, Jennifer, is an occupational therapist. Together we created a vision for Dirty Girl Adventures. Our vision is to empower and motivate people of all ages and abilities to reach their full potential through outdoor adventure and connection with a community that values whole health, the balance, right? So with Dirty Girl Adventures, you've been seeing the pictures of all these people, all ages and stages, all different people. We do mostly have women participants. I'm pretty sure somebody else told you a statistic about that. But what we find is that, and I'm going to share a story that a dirty girl was brave enough to share with me. What she said is that for most of her life after a difficult childhood, she struggled to make friends, the types of friendships that many of us are able to develop over our lives. She often struggled with depression. She felt disconnected, isolated, and lonely. She always loved animals and nature. And so when she found the Dirty Girl Adventures Facebook page, she started to watch the pictures. She really wanted to go outside, but self-doubt held her back. She thought, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm not strong enough. Took another, she says, almost a year before she actually came outside with us. When she first came, she was very guarded. She'd had contact with other social groups and not had success. She felt pressured. There was drama. But when she came with us, what she found was that she was welcomed. She was encouraged, not pushed. She was supported. She felt part of a group. There was a kinship there. She felt like she belonged. She still sometimes struggles with depression, but she knows that the dirty girls are there for her because she is part of our tribe, right? So what do you need to do? What can you do? You can't all come outside with Dirty Girl Adventures. And quite frankly, as much as I would like to say that Jennifer and I are amazing, it's really not about that. It's about you taking yourself outside to connect with nature, to reestablish the intuitive connection that was lost for you, maybe, hopefully not, somewhere back in middle school. Take a friend, take your dog, take your grandma, take your kids, and go outside. You'll have to practice at first. Even though humans are designed to connect with nature, when you're out of practice, it's hard to do certain things. So it might feel weird to not be doing something. Might feel weird to not have your phone in your hand, your tablet in your hand while you're out there. You can take your phone, put it on airplane mode, then you can take pictures, but not have to interface with everyone. Leave your Fitbit at home on the counter. This isn't about distance, it's not about speed. Once you've practiced a while, you can go back to that. What this is about is going outside to help you balance, to help your family balance, to help our whole society balance by reconnecting with what is intuitive to us. To strive for the American dream requires a balance. If we don't take care of ourselves, we won't succeed in any of our striving. We'll be stressed, depressed, anxious, obese, and not very healthy. That's the kind of society we've lived in for 60 years. We let it get worse. It's time to make a change. Go outside. Thanks.